that's the way they're doing it now, to save money. So from now on. They're over there talking. I'm ready. We're getting ready to go on. Are you ready? Oh. Good morning, and welcome to Ahiah's meditation service. My name is Marcia Bradshaw, and I'm an emeritus practitioner here at Ahiah. And I want you to just take a deep breath right now with me. And then as you release that, take another deep breath. And as you're taking that deep breath, come into a space of love in your heart. And release. And now take a third deep breath. And release everything other than this moment in time. Honoring the preciousness of who and whose you are. How wonderful it is to take this time for yourself. And as we are celebrating love, let's just be the love that God is within each one of us. So I ask you to center down. Feel into that luscious space within you. That space that you hold so dear. For it is your heart space, your loving space, your preciousness. And as you center in, placing your feet flat on the floor, and just rustling around a little bit, getting comfortable. Know that this is your time. That this is your moment in time to be with you. And you have allowed yourself this gift. I'm calling it a gift of love. So I want you to travel with me to your sacred sanctuary. May it be in the mountains, at the ocean side, at a brook, within the forest, wherever that space is for you, just go there now. Go there and take a moment. Relax, breathe in, and know that you are in your sacred sanctuary. And now that you have relaxed, I want you to take a journey deeper into your sanctuary. Be it that you open a doorway, or you walk a path, or you just relax by the water. However you go into that deepest space in your sanctuary, I want you to travel there now. And usually I'd ask you to take a sacred stone with you. But I know that in your special space, Spirit has left something for you. So as you travel there, something sacred is there for you to find. And only you know what that is. So as you relax with your gift, realizing that you are the precious one that gives and receives. And this day is the day that you are to receive that precious gift. I know you say, I am not worthy. And truly, Spirit says, you are worthy of my love and all the precious gifts that I might give you. How sweet it is to relax in that awareness that you are worthy of Spirit's gifts. So, as you are in the center of your heart and you're feeling the sweetness of Spirit's love, you have received a precious gift. And now, you sit with that gift. Because with all gifts, you have to open it. And so however that is, it may be by contemplation, it may be by unraveling, it may be by just being in prayer. So as you open your gift, you begin to understand. You begin to know what Spirit is saying just to you for no one else's ears. How precious it is. How sweet and loving is your relationship with Spirit. And as you're feeling this euphoric expression in your being, you're just totally lifted up to all and all that Spirit has for you. And you know that you are worthy. You are loved. You are truly a presence on this planet that is important. This gift is showing you that you already know in your heart of hearts. This gift is guiding you to your next steps in life. This gift is giving and giving and giving and showing you how to receive from the almighty universe of Spirit. Because as we continuously are able to give, the receiving is the preciousness. The receiving from the universe is the real gift. So as you sit with that awareness, that Spirit has asked you to receive the goodness of life, the joy of living, the wisdom that is all around you. As Spirit asks you to receive all the planetary gifts, you just sit in awe. I ask you to know that your love given to you is what Spirit desires. Your love, taking care of you, is what Spirit asks. For truly, as you give yourself love, that love is then available to be given. As you receive your love, that love from on high, that love from your inner being, you have more than enough to give. It's called self-love. It's called being precious within yourself. So as we continue this inner journey into our own personal loving, receiving the gifts from on high, we relax and know there is no harm, there is no danger on this planet. For we have all that we need within us. So as you settle into that awareness, knowing that God is, that perfect gift that you have received is the precious gift that you will return to this place and space with, and you will continue to delve into it and understand it, for it has many levels. And all you need do is ask Spirit, what do you desire me to know in this moment in time? What do you desire me to be in this moment in time? How can I love myself even more? So as you come back to this time, this place, this moment, bring with you all that you have received in your sanctuary. And remember, receiving is the high order of spirit. Giving is wonderful. Receiving is the ultimate. And so as you journey back, pat your feet on the floor. Come to the awakened space and prepare to hear the melodic music, meditations of spirit that come next. As you open your eyes, just keep them dimly open and stay in this space of meditation. Namaste.
One man come in the name of love. One man come and go. One man come here to justify. One man to overthrow. In the name of love. What more in the name of love? In the name of love. What more in the name of love? One man crawl on a barbed wire fence. One man he resist. One man washed on an empty beach. One man betrayed with a kiss. In the name of love. What more in the name of love? In the name of love. What more in the name of love? Early morning, April 5th, shot rings out in the Memphis sky. Free at last, they took your life, they could not take your pride. In the name of love, what more in the name of love? In the name of love, what more in the name of love? Whoa, oh, 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 oh,
Good morning. Mic check. Yes, we are waiting for our beloved Reverend Dr. Maureen Hoyt, who is our guest speaker today. We know that we live in Southern California, and on our freeways, anything is possible. Indeed. Is she here? Wonderful. There's Reverend Dr. Maureen Hoyt in the house. Indeed. So we're just waiting for our countdown. So good to see everyone this morning. Glad you could join us. And we are live. Yes. Sure. Oh. Hopefully they can't see that at television, you know. Thank you, good brother. I appreciate it. Somebody's always looking out for you. That's what it means to live out loud, you know. Just let your shirt tail out, that's all. Thank you, good brother. God morning, family, and welcome to live streaming and live service at the Ahiah Center for Spiritual Living. Beautiful downtown Pasadena in the heart of the Playhouse Village, indeed. I'm Reverend Michael Bernard Lattimore, your guide on the side. I am the assistant minister here. Reverend Scott is enjoying some much-needed R&R. And our guest speaker was not really a guest. She's part of Ahiah. Reverend Dr. Maureen Hoyt is going to deliver our wisdom talk today. And you are all just glowing with a beautiful, beautiful golden light. So good to see all of you this morning. We're grateful for everyone who makes this service possible, for those managing the flow of electrons in the sound booth. We got Frederick Southern over there hiding out. He's our sound technician. Thank you, good brother. We appreciate you. Indeed, indeed. Harris is our technical director, and I see he's got an apprentice with him today, and we're grateful for you coming to learn. Our Hugs and Ushers team, I see Dorothy, Milton, Jackie O, everyone's in place. If you have not yet received a bulletin, a program, please just raise your hand, and one will be automagically delivered to you. Yes, it is on the way. There you go. See how easy that is? Our practitioner emeritus for today is none other than the birthday girl. Did I say that? The birthday lady. Marsha Bradshaw's in the house. Happy birthday. And as Stevie Wonder would say, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. There we go. Oh, yes, yes. That's our Sunday band family. That was Leon Johnson on the bass. Chris Glick, our musical director, also practitioner, tickling the keyboards. And holding up the rhythm and the percussions in the corners, Brian Menifee in the house. Yes, and we're going to hear from them in just a moment. And Connie Rouse is in the house and has brought Karen with her, an angel of light, indeed. And so our musical inspiration is just ready to go. Okay, so I think that's everything from me. Why don't we get started with a congregational? Yeah, that sound good? Yeah, the congregational is Use Me. We're going to invite you to stand and participate in the singing of Use Me.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, leading us to shine its light as me. God is created, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine His light as me. As you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. God needs us to shine His light, and God needs us to shine His light. God needs us to shine His light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. All that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
And now we welcome to the platform our licensed practitioner, Marsha Bradshaw. But I'm going to say, why don't we just greet each other anyway? Let's turn around and give everybody a warm Ahiah welcome.
Everybody.
Oh, good morning again, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so happy to be here today. And as Reverend Michael said, I am celebrating my birthday. Woo-hoo! And I love to tell people how old I am, but I'm going to hold it right now. So as we just turn within, honoring the presence of the Most High, recognizing the perfection of God in all things, recognizing that this day is a day that God made, and each one of us rests in it. For the perfection of God shines through each of us. So I just bless this day as I bless this service and every person that has come this morning to share their goodness, their love, their light, to make this service, this celebration, a success, for it is God's success that is always expressed. So I bless the musicians, knowing that as they sing and play, the melodies are heard by each one of us. And it's joyous, for we rejoice in that love and light that shines through them. And I bless Reverend Dr. Maureen Hoyt, knowing that she brings her word of spirit that comes through her, and it lifts each one of us up and shines for days and days to come. For she is that wisdom that Spirit has brought on this planet. And I say thank you for that goodness. As I bless Reverend Michael, knowing that he is the gift from on high. And he is here for us, supporting us. And I also bless Reverend Scott, knowing that where he is, relaxing and enjoying himself, that God is shining through him. As God shines through this entire congregation, I just bless the entire planet, knowing that there's a healing taking place, that all those individuals that have felt some pain this week, that Spirit lifts them in Morocco and all places and spaces. I just hold them in my heart of hearts as each one of us holds them, knowing that the God of loving is right there where they are. So I say that the planet is blessed as each one of us here, and all those individuals that have just had a moment in time to question, they know the answer, that God is love. And for this and so much more, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. It is good, it is God, it is done. And together we say, and so it is. Amen, amen, ashe, aho, amen. So, I said it was my birthday. Well, that's the only thing I celebrate is birthdays. I don't celebrate anything else. So I try to know everybody's birthday because I want to celebrate with them. And today, I'm celebrating mine. So I let everybody know that that's what's happening. And I say that from a place of, I just came back from Brazil. That was my gift to myself. And I was with people that know the preciousness of life. And so I brought back with me what really giving and receiving is. The smile, the loving, the way that everybody says, "Brigado," no matter what. I may not say it right, but that's what they say when you walk in the streets. When you do anything, they just say thank you. They just say thank you. And that's what I'm bringing with my heart in this moment, that I bring that energy of thank you, God. Thank you for life itself. Thank you for the opportunity to live fully. And so before I do the reading, I'll tell you that I'm 76 playing like I'm 25. And from that space, I have a reading or two, just because I'm me. The Journey of Love Within. And it's taken from Love Out Loud, Science of Mind. One of the reasons our world lacks love is that there is a lack of love within. The reasons are as varied as the people who experience them. Tough environments, while growing up, questioning our self-esteem, a loop of hard-to-break patterns, a few heartbreaks, a few failures. Each of these human experiences makes us courageous and prepares us for the forthcoming adventure. The task is to work on ourselves, to ask questions, to begin a journey within. Some of us think we can pour love onto others and bring them some joy while keeping our cup of self-love empty. It does not work like that. In our immaturity, some of us thought blingy gifts and a sensuous rush meant we met our soulmates. Some of us were the clueless parents who thought kids were our road to fulfill our dreams. We needed validation from others so badly that we pretended to be someone we're not. We were so nice that we forgot to be kind. Kindness takes strength, and we lost ours while focusing on impressing a world that never took the time to care. We all learned and unlearned. We are still doing so and will continue to do so until the end of this lifetime of all lifetimes. For the journey of love is within. Take that one in. And with that, I'll read from 365, and it is 365 Science and Mind, Ernest Holmes, September the 10th. I stay open to the presence of spirit everywhere. The world is mine, and the fullness thereof. Psalm 10. No, actually, it's Psalm 50:12, or something like that. The Spirit of God, which is life, is present everywhere. Like the air we breathe, it presses against us, on the mountaintop, in the valley, in the desert, and in the ocean. There is no place where life is not. Therefore, whatsoever direction we move in God. In God we live, move, and have our being. God is one undivided and indivisible wholeness, one divine spiritual presence, one universal and all-encompassing person. Perhaps it is a little difficult for us to understand the meaning of such an all-inclusive person. But the very fact that we are personalities presupposes such a conclusion. Our endeavor, then, is not so much to find God, to discover the divine source of our personal being, as it is to become acquainted with God. Today, I consciously commune with the Spirit. I know that it presses against me and flows through me. I endeavor to feel this presence as a living reality in my life, knowing that the divine presence is in everyone. I sense that the Spirit is in everyone I meet. I do my best to respond to this Spirit, seeing it everywhere, and I keep my consciousness open and alert that I might better understand the union of all life with its pure and perfect source. So I want to share one other thing, and that has to do with the sun rising and setting. So I was in Salvador, and that is the oldest city in Brazil. They have a bay that's called All Saints Bay, and it butts the Atlantic Ocean. And one of the amazing things is the sun rises and sets there. So it rises at the Atlantic and it sets at All Saints Bay. What a wonderful thing to know. Namaste.
And just because it's so nice, we're going to do it twice. Let's turn around and give everybody a warm Ahiah welcome, shall we? Just a smile, shine your light. There we go. Doesn't that feel good? Indeed, indeed. And now, let's call to the platform Connie Rouse and Karen to make a joyful noise and lift our spirits. Connie Rouse, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Reverend Mike. Good morning, Ahiah family. Lovely to be here with you. And I am so blessed to have my dear friend Karen here with me. I always feel very fortunate when she can join me. So, thinking about the theme for the month, Love Out Loud, right? To openly express your love for someone, or your love for others, your love for the universe. I was thinking about this next song that we're going to share, and when I listen to the words, I often imagine that this good song could be a love song from the Creator to all of us. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue. I'd go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea and on the highway of regret. The winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. Nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you to make you feel my love. To make you feel my love.
Beautiful. Thank you both so much, so much. Our theme this month is Live Out Loud. And the topic today for the Wisdom Talk is I love myself so much. Those of you who were with us last week saw the youth church as they led us through that song, I love myself so much. And what a joy it was. And so Reverend Dr. Maureen is with us today to talk a little bit more about that. And I am reading from her website, drmaureenhoyt.com. If you would like to avail yourself of more about her, you can actually go there. But Reverend Dr. Maureen is an ordained minister of religious science and a doctor of divinity. She's been active for over 24 years and a practitioner for over 30 years. So she also is a practitioner emeritus. And during that time, she has received just about every possible award that CSL could give. she's definitely been around. And one of her involvements that really I'm enthused about is her activity with the Institute of Noetic Sciences, which was founded by astronaut Edgar Mitchell. Many of you know that when he was out there in outer space, he had an epiphany, a revelation of the divine, and founded that organization. So Reverend Dr. Maureen Hoyt is also an editor. She was the editorial coordinator for the in-house magazine Creative Thought, if you've ever read that. And she has reinvented herself as an editor, and we're hopeful that around here in the Ahiah House we can use her services. She lives in Westlake Village, close to her children Heather and Nathan, and her much adored granddaughter Sydney. And so with that, please give a warm Ahiah welcome to Reverend Maureen.
Thanks. Well, I have to update my website. Isn't that interesting? I probably haven't looked at it in ages. So I just had my 30th anniversary as a minister. So 24 is not accurate. 35 years as a practitioner. So yeah. And my kids are all grown up. My Sydney, who was in teen group and loves to come here because a lot of her teen friends are still here, she's going to turn 19. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? Well, good morning. I'm so happy to see all your bright, shiny faces that God needed form to express and is expressing as each one of you here this morning. I love that. Interesting, Marcia, that you should mention the earthquake in Marrakesh, because one of my dearest friends, Reverend Marilyn Jensen Johnson, who used to be at the Glendale Church of Religious Science, was evacuated from her hotel, and she sent a message that she was safe, and they were on the street and they were letting them back in the hotel, and the first earthquake was a precursor. So we're waiting to hear how she is, and if you'll just all know right here and right now, safety. Safety for her and her traveling companions. So I want to thank Reverend Scott so much for inviting me to come this morning. I was telling Helen earlier that, was I telling Helen? I think I was. My memory goes all of a sudden when I change course here. That I moved to Pasadena from San Francisco in the early 70s. So I feel like every time I come to Pasadena, it's like coming home to some degree. And it feels, if you've been to San Francisco, Pasadena has a similar vibe to San Francisco. The architecture, everything, even though they don't have row houses here like they have out in the avenues. Anyway, also thank you to Reverend Mike for being the presider this morning. I always enjoy being in your presence, for sure. Thank you. So the monthly theme is laugh out loud. Laugh out loud. And when is the last time you laughed out loud? It's probably one of the most joyful noises that you can possibly hear, is somebody laughing right from the bottom of their feet to the top of their head. And I know people, I'm sure you do too, they don't laugh. I've never heard our former president laugh. And I've never heard my kid's dad laugh out loud. And I wonder what that's about. That's self-containment, maybe. That's an inability to express oneself fully and completely. There's nothing I like better than to laugh out loud. A friend of mine sent me a talk I'd given at Redondo Beach in 2017. Now, typically I don't listen to myself. I'm my most harsh critic, as most of us are, right? And I watched this one and laughed out loud. It was almost as if I was a different person in 2017, and I was. I am the 2020, September, what's the date today? The 10th? September 10th, 2023 model of myself. You know, it's a daily change when you get to be my age. And in March, I turned 79. So there you go. There you go. You know, it's never too late to have a happy childhood. So, other than giving a talk at a CLMR over the years, I had never spoken before that many people as I did at Redondo Beach. There were about 700 people there that day. And not to lie, I was intimidated by 700 people. And I don't know why that was, because, you know, when you're up here, kind of everything sort of blurs together. But when I get nervous, sometimes I often get funny to compensate. And somebody told me one time you should be a stand-up comedian. But it only happens spontaneously. I can't sit down and write something funny. It happens spontaneously. So years ago, I gave my mom a little placard because my mom had a hard time laughing out loud. She didn't really feel like there was anything to laugh about raising 5 kids, I think. Anyway, I gave her this plaque, and all it said on the placard was, "Be silly and laugh a lot." And I thought, you know, we should market those and sell them at the church, because this is a necessary component to living life out loud. Living life out loud. Sometimes people in our lives are there to teach us how not to be. Harris, you're back there. You're doing the slides, right? Okay. Oh, you got me. Okay, good. First, it says what the talk title is. I love myself so much, and today's date. And the second slide is what we want to look at. Laughter comes from the joy of life. And when there's no joy, there's no laughter. But the thing about joy is it's intrinsic. It's in every one of us. But some of us have it buried a little bit deeper than others. And joy shows up consistently when we live in the present. So is the shifting your focus slide up? Yes? Okay, so this popped up. First of all, I might have to make a disclaimer. I did not realize that Casey Frost, had written the themes for this Sunday. And so I was kind of winging it when Reverend Scott gave me the talk title, and not realizing it was the actual theme and that all the material was already there. I did my own material, which is kind of the way I do things sometimes. Anyway, but this slide is very important because most of us, as you can see the circles, the 3 circles at the top, the past is usually where we focus our attention, and the future is where we focus our attention. The present gets very little notice. But if we can shift our focus to the past having very little significance and the future having very little significance and living in the present, how different life would be for all of us. Somebody told me a long time ago, the past is for information only. Period, the end. It's for information only. And as I was talking to Helen this morning, one of Ernest Holmes' favorite things was numerology. Because like music, the notes are the same in any language, right? The numbers are the same in any language. And he had great respect for all the ologies because they were for information. Phrenology, biology, astrology, numerology, psychology. But he said the thing that makes life change is spiritual mind treatment, and that was at the very top of the pyramid. So some of us may focus more on the past or the future. When we shift our focus to really staying in the present, all of life becomes joyful. It does. You know, we may have happiness, we may have sadness, because those emotions are provoked from outside influences. But all of life becomes joyful when we stay in the present moment. We begin to notice the joy body, as Eckhart Tolle spoke about, expressing itself in so many different ways. And we awaken each day wondering, what good is going to happen in my life today? What good is going to happen in my life today? A couple of weeks ago, one of my very, very favorite religious science ministers passed away, Dr. Tom Sanar. And he and I were on the Board of Education and the Ministerial Studies program for Religious Science International. And we worked together for many years, side by side. He wrote a book, which is a play on words, obviously, called The Power of Vow. The Power of Vow. And while it may not seem relevant to the talk title today, I'll give you the Reader's Digest condensed version. Put up the next slide, please, of the 7 sacred vows. He said in the book, he said, the 7 sacred vows are the vows of an unlimited being, which we all are. Because while we are not all of God, we're a drop of water in the ocean of the consciousness of God, right? So they're based on the vital thoughts of the universe. A vital thought is a thought that is in harmony with the goodness of the universe. A vital thought is more powerful than an ordinary thought because it is supported by more than individual desire. It is supported by the universe. So that would presume then that conscious mind is more powerful than subconscious mind. So the 7 sacred vows hold a key to the successful and fulfilled life. And when we know this, it's an opportunity to love ourselves fully while living in the present. To love ourselves fully, because Ernest said that our consciousness comes before us in all things. So the love that we feel for ourselves comes before us when we walk in a room. And it emanates out to the people who are in the room with us. And I like that idea because it works very well with the Celestine prophecy. Remember that book in the early 90s that was so popular? People were making a guru out of James Redfield. But the first step toward personal mastery is to memorize and embody the 7 vows until they become an integral part of our daily life. Well, I can't do that today. I'm giving you the Reader's Digest condensed version. If you want to read more about it, the book is available on Amazon. It's called The Power of Now. But the first one is I vow awareness. Awareness, he says, is the vow to live consciously in the present moment. You know, joy shows up in our lives in the present moment. I can't love myself in the past. I can't love myself in the future. But in the present moment, I can feel the joy of being Maureen Hoyt. And somebody said to me yesterday, are you ever unhappy? Well, yeah. Sometimes I am unhappy. Sometimes I'm sad. But at the core of who I am is joy. It is the commitment that we have to be alive, awake, and aware of the now. That's the first one, awareness. It is the commitment to listen and be receptive to what is happening now rather than dwelling on regrets of the past or worries about the future. When we're in fear, we're in the future. And it does us no earthly good in the present moment. The second one is I vow courage. Courage is the vow to proceed in spite of seeming obstacles. Right now, this world is in a sort of chaos, managed chaos, but chaos nonetheless. Courage means to overcome fear and act with confidence. And moral strength. Moral strength is very important because there may not be a whole lot of it in certain circumstances right now. Courage involves the persistence to turn obstacles into opportunities. I know so many times we hear that as a platitude, but if we can see how a seeming obstacle turns into an opportunity and work from the place of opportunity, life changes. Life changes without our really not having anything to do with it. I can digress for a second, but you know, I am not now, nor have I ever been the problem. It's what I think about that's the problem. You know, I'm not the problem here. It's my thinking that's the problem. And sometimes it's easier said than done to change our thinking. I'm going to just add that because, you know, I had an incident last week where I thought I had thought crimes against my kid's dad. And I had to realize that he hasn't received the gift of spirituality yet. Although I love him, his behavior is totally inconsistent with his perfection. And that's funny on one hand, but sad on the other hand, right? I vow kindness. Kindness is the vow to treat others with deep dignity and respect at all times. Kindness involves a thoughtful and deliberate appraisal of a situation and the ability to empathize with others before acting. You know, when someone acts out with me and they go off on me, I kind of cock my head to the side and think to myself, I wonder what's going on with that person. You know, it isn't, why are they doing it to me? I don't go to the victim consciousness. I think to myself, I remind that person of something that is uncomfortable in their life. Kindness is based on the realization that people have different dispositions. Oh, God love us. People have different dispositions and perceive the same events differently. My older sister, Donna, grew up in a different house. I mean, we had a family reunion some years ago where my dad sent tickets for all 5 of us to come home. No kids, no husbands, just his 5 children and our mom and dad together. You want to see how spiritually evolved you are? Try that. Try that one. But what happened was, as we were sitting down and reminiscing about things, my older sister kept saying, well, that didn't happen. Well, that didn't happen. I never did that. What are you talking about? We thought, where was she, on a different planet? Maybe yes. But she had no coping mechanisms for what was going on in her life. She was a prodigy. My parents didn't know that. We were country bumpkins. We lived in Canada in a town of 5,000 people. We didn't know she was a prodigy. She was just difficult. She was terribly difficult. So people have different dispositions and we perceive the same events differently. Bear that in mind. I vow authenticity. Authenticity is the vow to be genuine and to come from unique inner wisdom. It's the commitment to be real in every aspect of life. It's the commitment to become transparent. You know, some of us are so afraid of transparency because we feel vulnerable. You know, vulnerable is not about being weak. It's about feeling our feelings so that other people can feel theirs. You know, if we are one, then we all can work together. There are no hidden agendas and no ulterior motivations. That's what authenticity is. We work hard on that. We work hard on that. You know, telling the truth is being authentic. Telling the truth even in the face of maybe not being liked so much. I vow gratitude is number 5. Gratitude is the vow to express thanksgiving for life regardless of conditions. Fletcher Harding told me one time, he said, some of the most spiritual people I've ever met are on their deathbeds. Because it's not about being well physically, it's about being well spiritually. My dad left this plane in gratitude. My mom went out kicking and screaming. You know, she was so angry. And it showed at the last part of her life. However, we were all in the room with her when she passed away. And I want to tell you, that face that was on the bed after her soul left her body was the face of an angel. Was the face. We never saw that face in our mother until that moment in time. So gratitude is causative energy. It's more than a resultant emotion. It's causative energy. Gratitude begets more gratitude, begets more gratitude, begets more gratitude. It is like a creative force which acts like a magnet and draws greater, better, more, different to us. Number 6 is I vow oneness. Oneness is the vow to see through duality to unity. Through oneness, we reveal holistic solutions. We see beyond competition to cooperation and harmony. That's what we need more of in our world today, cooperation and harmony. You know, when I marched with my placard with Angela Davis down Montgomery Street in San Francisco in 1968, I had no idea that they would still have to do that today. You know, that makes me nuts. Makes me nuts to think that 50 years and things really haven't changed appreciably. Okay, I digressed again. What the heck? When we make the decision to stop judging on the basis of appearances and begin to look for answers that unify and bring people together, we tap into the creative solutions of the universe. And the last one, and probably the most difficult one, I vow detachment. Detachment is the vow to objectively observe behavior without judgment. How many of us can really do that? If we had a ticker tape across our forehead and it wrote everything we were thinking, wouldn't we all be in trouble? You know, sometimes I think I'm more spiritually evolved than I am. The Eastern traditions call this mindfulness. Most people unconsciously react to conditions in life based on pre-existing beliefs. That's why the past is of no importance except for information. We consciously decide not to allow our emotionally backed beliefs to control our life. Consciously have to allow. You know, I did a little workshop here for the practitioners a while back, and it was about Ernest's position on unconscious invitation. We unconsciously invite the same person in our lives over and over again, disguised in a different costume. We consciously invite the same health challenge into our lives over and over again, ad nauseum. Relationships, money. We have the same money problems we had yesterday and the day before because it's unconsciously being invited. Now, the trick is to consciously invite what we really do want, not what we don't want. And that's a whole other talk. You know, we become the creative thinker. Actually, I'm going to come here and do that workshop for the congregation. I am. Reverend Scott and I have talked about that a little bit. We've also talked about doing the Writing for Pleasure and Profit workshop as well. So we become the creative thinker. How creative can we think? To what degree is our imagination? Creative Imagination by Neville Goddard is probably one of my favorite books in the whole entire, I mean, he's amazing. I saw him at the Scottish Rite Temple in 1968. There were 3,000 people there. And you could hear a pin drop. I even get goosebumps when I talk about it because I certainly cried through most of the whole thing. And I thought if there were a church like this, I'd go to it. And then somebody invited me to Founders, and there I was in the midst of everything Neville Goddard had talked about. And again, I digress. You guys are never going to go to lunch. So the next slide. Oh, gosh. I'm learning to love the sound of my feet walking away from things not meant for me. I should tattoo that on my forehead. Yeah, walk away from the things not meant for us. You know, we don't have to say goodbye in anger. We can love those people, those situations, those circumstances out of our lives. But until we do that, they're going to hang around and they're going to be unconsciously invited into our lives in a different form. So the next slide. Things I can control and things I can't control. Is that the right slide? All righty. Look at all those things that you can't control. We're not going to talk about those. What we can control is our response to others' behavior. boundaries I set with others, how I let other people affect me, when and if I forgive others, where I give my time and energy and attention, and how I speak to and treat others. Rabbi Mark Gaffney said, never allow a person to serve you whose name you do not know. That goes for every restaurant server, every guy in the post office, every checker in the supermarket. Call them by name. They're not invisible. Anyway, I'm not going to go into detail about that, but the things that I can control are the most important in this slide. Years ago, I went to a conference at the Hilton at Universal Studios. And again, there were a whole lot of people there. And the speaker was Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, no relation to the sitar player of the 60s, right? The Indian guru. And at the end, somebody got up and asked a question. Well, what am I supposed to do with someone who says nasty things about me behind my back? What am I supposed to do with their opinions of me? And Ravi Shankar said, first of all, he said, you are going to go about your life agonizing over what you think you heard. And he said, the second part is, tomorrow that person could change their mind and you'll still be agonizing. So I think about that. I think about that a lot. Raymond Charles Barker said, what you think of me is none of my business. So Terry Cole Whitaker actually wrote a book by the same name. So here's a story that I wanted to tell for a very long time, and I'm so glad to see the teens coming in for this one. Story time. So it came from Albert Einstein, actually. But someone asked him if he believed in God. And he said, I believe in the God of Spinoza. Baruch de Spinoza was a Dutch philosopher considered to be one of the great rationalists of the 17th century philosophy, along with Descartes. So here's what Spinoza's response was when he was asked about his belief in God. He said, God would say, stop praying. What I want you to do is go out into the world and enjoy your life. I want you to sing, have fun, enjoy everything I've made for you. Stop going into those dark, cold temples that you built yourself, saying that they are my house. My house is in the mountains, in the woods, the rivers, the lakes, and beaches. That's where I live, and there I express my love for you. Stop blaming me for your miserable life. I never told you there was anything wrong with you, or that you were a sinner, or that your sexuality was a bad thing. Sex is a gift I have given you, and with which you can express your love, your ecstasy, and your joy. This was a laugh out loud one for me. So don't blame me for everything they made you believe. Oh, sorry. Stop reading alleged sacred scriptures that have nothing to do with me. If you can't read me in a sunrise, in a landscape, in the look of your friends, in your son's eyes or your daughter's eyes, you will find me in no book. Reminder, this is supposedly God talking now. Remember this, right? Stop asking me, will you tell me how to do my job? Stop being so scared of me. I do not judge you or criticize you, nor get angry or bothered. I am pure love. Now that, part of the Ernest Holmes came from the teachings of Spinoza. So you can hear it a little bit in this. Stop asking for forgiveness. There's nothing to forgive. If indeed I made you, I filled you with passions, limitations, pleasures, feelings, needs, inconsistencies, and above all else, free will. How can I blame you if you respond to something I put in you? Ooh. How can I punish you for being the way you are if I'm the one who made you? Do you think I could create a place to burn all my children who behave badly for the rest of eternity? Speaking of hell, what kind of God would do that? Respect your peers and don't do what you don't want for yourself. Don't do what you don't want for yourself. All I ask is that you pay attention in your life, that your alertness is your guide. My beloved, this is life. This is life. And this life is not a test, not a step on the way, not a rehearsal, nor a prelude to paradise. This life is the only thing here and now, and it is all you need. I have set you absolutely free. No prizes, no punishments, no sins, no virtues. No one carries a marker. No one keeps a record. You are absolutely free to create in your life heaven or hell. So I'm not going to keep on going, but I'm going to finish this. So if there's nothing after our present life experience, then you will have enjoyed the opportunity I gave you. And if there is, rest assured that I won't ask you if you behaved right or wrong. I'll ask, did you like it? Did you have fun? What did you enjoy the most? What did you learn? Stop believing in me. Believing is assuming, guessing, imagining. I don't want you to believe in me. I want you to believe in you. I want you to feel me in you when you kiss your beloved, when you tuck in your little girl, when you caress your dog, when you bathe in the ocean. Stop praising me. What kind of egomaniac God do you think I am? I'm bored with being praised. I'm tired of being thanked or feeling grateful. Prove it by taking care of yourself, your health, your relationships, and the world. Express your joy. That's the way to praise me. The only thing for sure is that you are here, that you are alive, and that this world is full of wonders. Now, I relate this story to you because I wanted to hear it again. I wanted to be reminded today what causes joy in my life, what shows me on a daily basis that I love myself so much that when I go out into my world, people say, I want what she has, and I'm willing to go to any lengths to get it. Those of you in 12-step will recognize that term. The next slide is the only legacy we leave our children and our grandchildren is our happiness. My kids don't want my china or my crystal or my jewelry. They don't want anything of mine. They don't even like my artwork. In The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes shared the Hindu wrapping ceremony. Some of you may remember this. So indulge me for a second. Put your right hand on your left shoulder. Yeah, left hand on the right shoulder. And say out loud, repeat after me, I love myself so much. Wonderful, wonderful me. So my charge to you today is every morning when you get up and the first thing you do is brush your teeth, look in the mirror, hug yourself, and say, wonderful, wonderful me. I love myself so much. So I know unequivocally that life changes accordingly when I love myself, and I keep the 7 vows, knowing as always, with God, all things are possible. Thank you for having me today. I first met Chris when I taught for Scott when he went to be with his mom up in Idaho. And it's interesting what a small world it is when you ask the right questions, right? We know people. Yeah, we do. All right, if you'll join me, please, in consciousness and go to that perfect place of peace within. That inner sanctuary that knows nothing outside that pure essence of spirit. Knowing that the power and presence of God has identified itself by means of each person here today. That God so loved itself that it needed form to express. And it expresses as each one of us. And so I know today the safety and care that we experience here today in this sanctuary is the same safety and care that the people in Marrakesh are experiencing, that the people in Maui are experiencing, and the people in Florida are experiencing from the hurricanes. It is an opportunity for each one of us to know the truth in spite of the appearances. That knowing the Aramaic word gamzo, which loosely translated means everything happens for good, that everything, every single thing in life happens for good at some level. And while we may not recognize it in the present moment, we know that we can look back and say, wow, that's why that happened. Wow, meaning an acronym for wonder of wonders. And so today I know that each person here returns home in safety and in good order, that we have been blessed today by the music, that Beethoven was right when he said that music is the mediator between the sensual and the spiritual. We have been sensualized and spiritualized by our beautiful music this morning. And to all those in service today, at any way, in any form, you are a blessing. We are a blessing. Everyone here is a blessing. That, again, as God so loved itself, it needed form to express. And so it is from this place in consciousness I joyfully receive and give thanks this morning, knowing that God is in the mix, all is well, as we say together, and so it is. Amen. Are you playing us out?
No, we're not
Oh, there's something else being done here? Okay. There's a schedule? I'm gonna set by a second.
Yeah, take your
Get
time.
my
Take
sea
your time. I'll go
legs.
around this way.
Okay.
Here we go. Please join with me as we acknowledge Reverend Dr. Maureen. Let's give her a round of love. Indeed, indeed. And family, it is now time for our conscious contribution. What we are up to is anchoring a new world, a new earth, a new way of being. And so when you give, be thinking about your conscious intention to help people to awaken to the magnificence of the light and the love and the goodness within them. And so if you would join with me, there are 3 ways that you can give consciously. You can text to give at 616-229-2225, and that's 616, not 626. You can give online at ahiah.com/donate, and you can also mail a check. Remember checks? You can mail a check, put a love note in it for Reverend Scott, send it to 150 North El Molino, Pasadena, California, USA, 91101. Indeed. And if you would join with me as we take our offerings in our hands, infusing it with our love, we affirm together, this gift I give is God in action. I send it forth with joy, confidence, and ease. I am blessed by the law of giving and receiving as I now share my gift with life. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And so it is. Amen and amen. Thank you, family. And pass the wheelbarrows, please. And now Connie Rouse and Karen are going to delight us with some more joy. Let's give them a round of applause. 1, 2, 3.
I love me. I love me. I don't know about you, but baby, I love me. Hey, 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 hey. They gon' say all kinds of things. They'll make jokes about my name. They gon' try to clip my wings, but I'm gon' fly. They try to play me like a game. I bet they're too scared of the thing. But I can see it clear when I'm looking in the mirror saying God made me just right. I love me. I love me. I don't know about you, but baby, I love me. Now everybody say, hey, 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 hey. 'Cause I'm blessed and it ain't my fault. I ain't waiting on nobody's call. You don't want me, baby, that's your loss. I'll be fine. And you can tell by the way I talk, and you can tell by the way I walk. I can see it clear when I'm looking in the mirror saying God made me just right. I love me. I love me. I don't know about you, but baby, I love me. Now everybody say, hey, 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 hey. I don't mean to brag, I don't mean to boast. I love all y'all, but I love me the most. I don't mean to brag, I don't mean to boast. I love all y'all, but I love me the most. Don't raise your glass, give yourself a toast. I love all y'all, but I love me the most. I don't mean to brag, I don't mean to boast. I love all y'all. Now everybody say, hey, 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 hey. I love me. I love me. I love me. Yes, I love me. Now everybody say, hey, hey, hey. Come on. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody sing. Hey, 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 hey. All right, we're still going. One more time. Hey, 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 hey.
In the house. Hey, hey, hey. Mhm. Got it? All right. I love me. I don't know about you, but I love me. Let's give them another round of applause, shall we? Hey, hey, hey. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, live in person right here on earth, the We Thrive Ahiah's youth program is live and in the house. The leaders of the 21st century are coming in. Let's give them a round of applause. We love you so much. Harper, the security chief.
She's here. Good morning. Last week I didn't get a chance to thank everybody for their support at our ice cream social. We did really well, and we're starting to build that that account that we need to get us to camp in the winter. And I think we may even have 1 or 2 new kids to camp come January. So that's exciting. We've got some more fundraisers coming up, and I'll let you know as we get close. Alejandro, did you want to talk? Okay, all right, we're going to let the teens talk today.
So what we did for this activity was we got a cardboard box, and then first inside the box we put like what we like to do in our comfort zone, and then on the outside of the box we wrote down what would we do if we couldn't fail.
This box is basically our life. The inside, like he said, is things that we're comfortable with, and the outside is things that are not so comfortable, but we're working towards. And basically, the box inside and out is all of us.
Yes, we do real work back there. Not a babysitting service. Anyway, thank you, everybody.
And family, I just want to acknowledge our beautiful youth leaders, Miss Lisa and her team, for the work that they're doing with our youth. Oh, and Malachi's back in the house. Prayer works. Prayer works. Absolutely. We also have a Change for Youth bottle right out there, a little water bottle. So if you've got pocket change, as you go out, you can just drop that in and help support our youth programs. We're sponsoring them to go to camp. And if you know of some young folks, you can refer them, bring them. I would even say if you want to hang out, support the youth, you can learn something too just by being a volunteer for the We Thrive program. I want to go in there. They do some pretty cool stuff over there, huh? Don't they? And there's a self-mastery class coming up taught by Marsha Bradshaw, who is on fire from Brazil, birthday lady. Kelly Metcalf's going to be helping her. That's going to be Thursdays. It's a 10-week course. Emergence of the True Self. Learn to live a life that you want and love. Isn't that cool? And yes, backed by popular demand, it's Foundations. Yes, this is the class that starts it all. It guarantees you can have a new life or you can have your old life back. Reverend Scott's going to teach this one. It's coming up the Tuesdays, 6:30 to 9. Sign up. Just say yes. Foundations is guaranteed to change your life. And also balancing mind and body with energy healing. Sky Wong's in the house. Sky is in the back waving her hand. She's an intuitive energy healer. And this is going to be the session connecting with the divine masculine and feminine. Yes? It's both. That's what I thought. Yes, indeed. So that will be coming up September 10th. Hey, that sounds like today. Yeah, 1 o'clock right here in the Ahiah Fellowship Hall. So come hang out with us there. Be the Vessel Workshop. Dr. Daniel Atkins is coming back. And if you haven't had a chance to get a sense of his consciousness, he is an intuitive psychologist. Will help you raise your energetic frequency. He'll be here on September 17th, next Sunday. He's also going to come to our Beloved Community Workshop. So if you haven't had a chance to tune in to that, you can come in and get a double dose of Dr. Daniel. Also, wait, there's more. There's a kirtan and sound bath taking place here on the 17th from 4 to 6. It'll be the chanting of Sanskrit and also a sound bath workshop that's happening afterwards. Just a really powerful experience. And if you've gotten a sense of the energy that are already embedded in the walls here, you'll know that when you come to participate in these, it's just amplified. It's just a very powerful experience here. And also, Ahiah is presenting Mardi Gras Bingo Night. This is coming up in February. I'll just be coming back from Africa, but I will be here, and we're going to have some fun. You get 10 bingo games. Also, just some fellowship. We're a fun group. We just love to hang out, make a joyful noise, to laugh out loud. Yep. So it's going to be a real party. You can actually get your tickets now. And you could bring a friend and invite them to come hang out and have some fun with us. That's February the 17th. So put that on your calendar. And, of course, CSL is offering a virtual workshop. There's more information of this on the website. That's September 29th. You can use the cell phone to go to the QR code there. Prayer and conversation every day, 9 to 9:30. And the book study, The Way of Mastery, on Tuesday nights. We were just talking about how this book study has evolved over, gosh, probably 20 years. We started off reading Wayne Dyer's Wishes Fulfilled. That went through the Ascended Masters discourses, and we've just been on and on and on for several decades now. It's a very powerful gathering on Tuesday nights. You get a checkup from the neck up. It's just a wonderful way to to learn and to bring in some of the energy of transformation. Healing Circle on Wednesday night. We've started a new course called Super Brain. Super Brain, if you want to learn how to maximize your brain power, this is at the Healing Circle. So we watch the video and then we have a little conversation cafe afterwards. So these are experiential sessions where you get a chance to really, tune yourself up. Our wonderful practitioners are in the house. Could our practitioners please stand? They're available for prayer. We got Jackie O, Chris, myself, Marsha. We're available for prayer after service. If you've got an issue going on, Lisa's waving her hand. You are not alone. Don't leave here without getting a prayer in for yourself or for someone that you know that is in need of the light. Ministry of Prayer forms are also at the back of the pews. You can fill out a request. We ask that you fill it out in the affirmative. I'm affirming health. I'm affirming successful completion of my project, whatever it is, and place it in the prayer box right in the back. Excuse me. Dial a prayer every day. You can dial in 626-795-4216, hit option 7, and automatically dial a prayer will appear. And that message is changed every week. Give thanks to Kelly Metcalf for her loving service. And with that, let's have a song. This is a congregational. I release and I let go. Connie and Karen are going to lead us, so please stand, Ahiah Mass Choir, as we close with our congregational song.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Amen, amen. And please join with me as we read our affirmation, our benediction on the screen. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all of my affairs. I accept it, I am it, and I share it. Just the way it appears and just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. And so it is. Amen and amen. Thank you, family. And please join us in the fellowship hall for more hugs and laughing out loud.